We have a bent disc out there. Looks as if the disc was bent on that last defensive effort. They start up again with the Boston possession. Boston has upped their percentage in their throws this half. They're working at a 94.5% completion rate. That's very similar to what Glassboro is doing. They've been very even this second half. It seems that very first few minutes of this game were very key. Glassboro's zone made things tenuous for Boston, and they've kept a small edge. 1-goal lead at this point. Boston is not penetrating as they were earlier. There's the shot they need right there. Seems to me they need a second try after that. Once they get that zone broken, they should be able to keep it moving, but they unfortunate throwaway there, but still at them. They have to execute better. If they're going to make that work, they just have to execute at a higher level. Offensive player fell down. A nice interception. Now's that moment where it's interesting to see how fast the zone sets up. There was one pass exchanged and the zone was set. Well, what Glassboro seems to do is keep enough defenders near to the disc so that they cut off throwing lanes until the defense does get all the way set up. That brings in some questions about double teaming, which is illegal, but effectively they do seem to be stopping the flow of play. Well, there is a switching mechanism in the zone that makes a brief moment inevitable as he comes into another zone. I guess the question is just how long's too long. There's the man. Oh, my goodness. Drop by Steve Vaccaro. They can't be allowed to do that. They're not going to get away with it. We have a Glassboro timeout. Okay, we're beginning with the Glassboro possession here. How much time do we have left? I think it's around 10 minutes. Just around 10 minutes. We've actually seen an interesting statistic recently. In the last 4 possessions, Glassboro has not been able to score, and they haven't been able to move it that effectively up the field. In that last possession, they threw 13 passes and only had 1 over midline. They have penetrated into the attack zone. We'll see if they can stick it in. They're moving it up the field pretty well now.
To me, this show ranks with the best being made around the world.
A very fine achievement, and you ought to be very proud of this show. Mr. Jolly Goodman.
I would recommend this unhesitatingly at any amphitheater show. Empire Cream is round.
Overplaying them defense to one side there. Glassboro is moving real nicely here.
An extraordinary sherry.
They find that open man, and then don't hesitate to make that throw.
If you've missed Golden Memories this morning, you have twice on Sundays over Sunday.
Team captain Timmer with the disc now.
A lot of good oldies bring back some memories for you. Then after that,
Foul called by Timmer.
Simon Glenn, Jenny, will be talking some very interesting things about, among other things, metabolic typing, which is a new way to combat the ravages of aging.
He's using the opportunity to reset the offense. This has been a long possession. So I've been real impressed all week with the Boston's man-to-man defense. They keep that pressure on as well as any team I've seen.
They don't seem to let up with their intensity. If Glassboro's finding the open man when they're there, the 1 or 2 steps, and taking advantage.
It was interesting to see the exchange between the two players there before they put the disc in. And turnover.
That turnover, Boston gets a chance.
Wow. On that exchange, it's just something you don't typically see between players of opposing teams. They've met each other a number of times through the season. There's been a good bit of respect built up between these two squads. A rivalry for sure, but a lot of respect too.
Louis Moreno, one of the front men from Glassboro. He's been around for a while playing as a front man. He's fast. Jim Harra covering there.
He's a perfect example. He's a small man, but he's making a really big contribution to this program because he is so quick and so dedicated to the coverage that that speed in itself really is an invaluable contribution to the success of this zone.
You know, this sport has an equal opportunity for the big player and the fast player.
Do you have any suggestions for the small, slow player?
Distinct disadvantage there. Ken Boston being real deliberate here, keeping control.
What are we at? 5 possessions now that the Borough has had without a score.
That's right. Often an unforced turnover as well.
If this goes into 10-10, it could have a big impact on the game right here. The first tie since the beginning.
And Lake Larson to Guido. Nice goal by Boston. It's 10-all.
New game. This is where we'll see a little bit of the depth.